afternoon. We'd like to welcome you to the Wessington Springs Gymnasium. We're about ready to start here with our graduation ceremony for 2019. We'll be kicking off in about 5 minutes. Good evening once again from the Wessington Springs Gymnasium. We are about to kick off our graduation ceremony for 2019.
Ready for action up there?
Our junior pilots, Landon Walter and Chelsea Schaefer.
Shelby will attend Lake Area Technical Institute and major in agriculture business. Sierra Dawn Berg. Sierra will attend South Dakota State University and major in horticulture. Chandler W. Institute and major in Human Services. Trevor Schmidt. Trevor is undecided about his post-graduation plans at this time. Tyra Shea Sinke. Tyra will attend Mitchell Technical Institute and major in licensed practical nursing. Riley James Stevens. Riley will attend South Dakota State University and major in agriculture education. Heidi Terrell. Heidi will attend South Dakota State University and major in animal science. Chastity Bishop. Chastity will attend Dakota State University and major in elementary education and special education. Connor Wolfkill. Connor will attend Kindred Spirits Taxidermy in West Burlington, Iowa. Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. Welcome to the graduation of the Wessington Springs class of 2019. Thank you for joining these young people as they celebrate the conclusion of one chapter of their life and they take the first steps into the next chapter. May they walk in true integrity as they move forward in this journey. Thank you.
I'd like to introduce our student speaker, Houston Meese. Houston is a class of 2019 valedictorian. Houston has been a great asset to the Wessington Springs High School. Houston is a member of the National Honor Society. He's also been involved in chorus, FCCLA, student council, yearbook, drama, basketball, just to name a few of his activities. Houston has represented Wessington Springs High School with great character and class. He's been a leader for our students and he'll be sorely missed. At this time, please welcome Houston Meese.
Thank you, Mr. Colzer, for the warm introduction. Hi, my name is Houston Meese, and I would like to welcome the graduating class, distinguished guests, and our extended family. As you might be able to tell, I'm just a little bit nervous. For those of you who don't know me, I've had at least 7 offers, 2 of which I've actually taken seriously to give this speech for me today. It's only because of a few life lessons that I'll get to later that I made it up here without the physical help of my classmates. They're well aware that my high-level anxiety may have made me pass out before I got up here. I'm a little bit of a perfectionist. It makes me nervous in front of crowds. No big deal. So I need to thank them for supporting me and encouraging me along the way. Let me acknowledge parents, grandparents, and extended family, my mom's crew of best friends who helped raise me, loyal friends who have been there for us through the year of learning world history lessons through movies and drinking Coke like it's going to give us superpowers. And finally, teachers and administrators who are constantly reminding us to suck it up and quit getting so emotional. It's just a Netflix TV show. Honestly, the drama of binge watching lives on Netflix and still being able to get good grades is an accomplishment in itself. Parents have a lot to be proud of. I mean, just think, parents, in a few short months, you'll be able to do what you wanted for a long time. Turn our rooms into your personal home office. Or in my case, my sister Quincy's new bedroom. Really though, many of us have seen a lot of what parents can be proud of in our local newspaper, the True Dakotan. Christy Hine has done an excellent job showcasing our many accomplishments in the past years. What hasn't been told is that this graduating class has one of the highest scores in the National Career Readiness Test. And we've also done extremely well as a whole on our ACTs. We do have a lot to be proud of, I guess. We have received a great education from Wessington Springs High School. Not all schools offer such an advantage. Here we have the high degree of academic excellence, and whether or not we intend on continuing our education, we will have benefited from what we have learned here. Especially Noah, who recalls having physics class discussions about how many slaps it would take to cook a chicken. Or Riley and Chandler and Connor, who vividly remember jump roping with Mr. Haney's slinky and proceeding to snap it in half. So on behalf of the senior class, we would like to present a new slinky to Mr. Haney. Tyra, do you have your phone handy on you? Good. We never know when Lindsay may need to make a 911 call for the girls for the toilet paper. But I would like to touch up on a couple of things Wessington Springs has given me throughout my high school career. Starting with thinking one of the best things that's happened to me at my time at WSHS. Mrs. Bowling, where's she at? One of the reasons I'm up here is because she encouraged me to get involved in a little organization called FCCLA. My family, especially Hunter, insisted I get involved in the organization. I was a little hesitant because I knew certain skills had to be practiced in the organization, including giving a speech. My mom finally got through to me and made me see reason. She said, Houston, it's either FCCLA or it's FCCLA. The decision became all of a sudden very, very clear. Now today, I can say the organization has taught me so many different things and experiences I would never have imagined without Mrs. Mullen. I can't really put into words the fear you helped me overcome or the lessons you've ingrained in me. Especially in psychology class, when you taught Maddie how to hypnotize, caused me to lose consciousness for a couple of seconds, and making me look like I was possessed by a demon. Another teacher I would like to recognize for their compassion and generosity is Mrs. Reisler. Mrs. Reisler has taught me a multitude of things, from finding my passion and doing what I love, to responsibility and work ethic. As those of you know, Mrs. Reisler is a middle school, high school art teacher. I've had her from 6th grade on. Art has become a defining purpose in my life. I knew that the day I saw Mrs. Reisler and my mom talking in the bleachers at awards night last year, that no matter what or how much I doubted myself, they were Team Houston. She has consistently pushed me out of my comfort zone and made me a better artist. Thank you, Ms. Reisler, for everything. Let's all please give those two teachers a round of applause for what they do for all of their students. There's one last person I would like to thank tonight, my mom. Thank you for loving me when I'm not so lovable. Thank you for lifting me up when I'm at my lowest, and thank you for being my number one fan. Thank you for raising me with such kindness, and thank you for teaching me not to settle for anything less. Thank you for knowing my worth, even when the world doesn't, and thank you for believing me when I didn't believe in myself. And most importantly, thank you for the unconditional love that you always show every day. I'm sorry if it's taken me this long. You deserve the world, and I would give it to you even if it means moving heaven and earth for you. And trust me, one day, Mom, I will. I'm literally sweating bullets. Never let them see you sweat, right? I have a better analogy for you that I'm going to discuss today. A life lesson, if you will, that someone very important has engraved in me for as long as I can remember. Duck on a pond. I'm doing it right now. We have plenty of water right now, so I'm sure most of you have noticed a duck floating around. Have you really watched a duck on a pond? I mean, not a care in the world, right? Now bear with me. They're so calm and sure of what they're doing without insecurities or worries. A duck swims with grace, a smooth, seemingly effortless progression across the water. However, underneath the water where we can't see is where the real work happens. The duck is paddling frantically to propel itself forward. Let me scrambling to finish to get to her presentation, then standing up there with a smile on her face, voice strong and determined. Me, standing up here in front of everyone, giving a speech I've been nervous for about 6 months, hoping my dang hair looks good. My point is, be the duck on the pond. On the surface, you're cool, calm, and collected, even though underneath you're paddling like crazy to stay afloat. To hit that kill, make that shot, give that presentation, nail that interview, and get that raise. Don't let anyone think they're getting to you. Don't allow anyone to own that kind of power over you. Not the bullies, not the people that disagree with you, not the people that dislike you for their own insecurities, and certainly not those who are trying to hold you back. Set your goals, stay quiet about them, smash the heck out of them, and clap for your dang self, and repeat. Make it happen and shock everyone, all while floating on the pond and enjoying the ride. There are a lot of ways people describe this or use analogies for it. Though this life lesson or phrase is one I hope my graduating class will take with them forever and use to succeed at something they love, whether it be college, an interview, that review, or a raise they really deserve. Be the duck. Remain calm on the surface and paddle like hell underneath. Thank you.
At this time, I'd ask Melissa Shimke to come forward and give out the Western Springs American Legion Citizenship Awards.
Good afternoon, and congratulations again to the class of 2019, and also to you parents and grandparents and everybody that got these kids to this point. That's no small feat, but congratulations again. The American Legion Citizenship Award is a long-standing tradition in Wessington Springs. It is awarded to those students in recognition of those possessing high qualities of courage, honor, leadership, patriotism, scholarship, and service. These qualities are necessary for the preservation and protection of the fundamental institutions of our government and the advancement of society. On behalf of the American Legion, Wilman Fee Post 14 of Wessington Springs, I'm very proud and honored to award these two students, Miss Lindsay Ollinger and Mr. Riley Stevens, the American Legion Citizenship. Congratulations. Lindsay's just went to the floor.
Good afternoon. I would like to introduce our guest speaker, Mrs. Davina Jackson. Mrs. Jackson grew up in Plankinton, South Dakota, where she graduated valedictorian of her class in 2009. She started her secondary education at Northern State University in Aberdeen. She graduated in 2013 with a Bachelor's of Science in English Education and a Spanish minor. Following her graduation from NSU, she continued her education at Kent State University in Ohio and graduated with a Master's in English Literature in 2015. Following her graduation at KSU, Mrs. Jackson came to Wessington Springs to become the middle school, high school English teacher. At this time, we were the little freshman class who lacked a basic English education, and for some of us, this meant not knowing what a noun, verb, or adjective were. And no, I am not kidding. We are the first class to spend all 4 years of high school with her. In our 4 years, we learned so much and will be forever grateful for the education she gave us. So, without further ado, please welcome Mrs. Davina Jackson.
Thank you. I am so grateful for the opportunity to be here. And like Houston, I have to preface this speech with a little bit of a warning. Earlier this year, when the senior class asked me if I would be their speaker at graduation, I felt two things. On the one hand, deep honor, but on the other hand, a little bit of nervousness that was really closer to sheer terror, so thank you guys for that. Now, it's not that I mind getting up and speaking in front of these amazing young men and women every day, but what can I possibly have to say at this graduation that has not been said before? This class has known me since their freshman year, so they know that I am certainly no silver-tongued speaker. In fact, there were times when I would lose my train of thought and have to ask them where I was going. So, how do I deliver a speech to make this day as special as these students deserve? And that's when I came to the conclusion that I should follow my own advice, a novel concept, and speak about what I know. So today I will seek to celebrate what I have seen for the past 4 years from this group of young adults. And then by way of advice, we're going to do kind of an English review of sorts, speckled with a few of my favorite quotes that hopefully you will find applicable. So to begin with, I want to congratulate all of you who have had a hand in raising this group of students. For my 4 years of knowing them, I have come to find them pretty exceptional. Now, there are a number of qualities that set them apart and that will help them to be successful. First and foremost, this class is fun. For instance, in 9th grade, I gave Isaac and Riley a point of view story to write with a picture of a cat staring down a mouse with a strawberry. They chose to write from the point of view of the strawberry. Then we had Noah's Ace Ventura jokes every week. I looked forward to those. And Sierra showing us how to contour makeup on one of our sophomore foreign exchange students, and he looked fabulous when she was done. Now the second trait I admire from this class is that they are kind and compassionate. I remember being very sick and struggling my first year teaching, and they would come in and notice and ask if I was okay before they'd even sit down in their seats. And even now they stop to say hello when they see me, even though I don't have all of them in class as seniors. But most importantly, I've noticed that they support one another even though they might not always agree on everything. So even when there were tears over things like anatomy and stress over their workloads, they got each other through. Finally, this class is full of smart, talented, hard workers. And I could see this in their classwork. I could generally expect a high caliber quality of work from them and smart, respectful discussions. And I have so many examples of the kind of work ethic I admire, such as Shelby and her binders. She had binders full of notes that she kept from English every year. It was impressive. She had more than I did, I think. But I could also have the boys and girls arguing over things like gender issues, but not resorting to the sort of arguments we see so prevalent in society today, such as name-calling, but relying instead on reasoning and proof, and being able to concede points and to see other points of view. Now, the only time we almost had a disaster was when Lindsay was about to hit Houston with a fly swatter during a review game, but Houston wisely conceded his point. And then also, we can see this in school events, and sometimes I would wonder if these kids were still in school, since I didn't see them for weeks on end. They were gone all the time. These kids are in so many different things, from athletics to FFA, FCCLA, drama, music, oral inter, yearbooks. They have such diverse talents, and still they would always come in to get their work caught up in class. And even when I was gone for a couple of months at the end of this school year, I never worried for a minute about yearbook because I knew Houston Sierra had it figured out from the beginning of the year. And Houston assured me that, quote, it would get done whether I was here or not. So all of these qualities have made this class just so special. And now that I've gone over some of those ways that this class has been a blessing to me and our school, it is time to try to give some advice as they head out into the real world, and that's the tough part. Honestly, these young adults have everything that they are going to need. Nevertheless, it's always good practice to review before a test, so let's just review some things that I hope to have taught them in English and how they might apply in real life in the future. So first, I hope you all remember to read. Read. It can be the green sheet, it can be a novel, but read. So learn always from history, from others, so that you don't repeat mistakes. Read to get better at what you do. Read to cultivate your minds. You don't know everything, even though sometimes we think we do. Secondly, use critical thinking. So figure things out. Use the head on your shoulders. They're good heads, by the way. Never let someone else think for you. Never. Because your generation will be responsible for our future government, for our way of life, so don't be led unwittingly. Then embrace different genres. So just as there are different kinds of literature, from poetry to essays, so too every life is different. So find what fits you best. It won't be the same as anyone else, and that's what makes life exciting and worth the effort. So once you've found what fits you, then create your own unique, beautiful works. Contribute to this world and make it better than you found it. And while you are going on that chosen path, take the time to proofread. Because today we have a whole lot of people who are long on opinions but short on wisdom. Don't be that person. Think about what you say. Because as J.K. Rowling asserts through her character Dumbledore in Harry Potter, words are, in my not so humble opinion, our most inexhaustible source of magic, capable both of inflicting injury and remedying it. So take the time to pause and make sure you use your voice for good, because your words are powerful, so be careful with them before you cannot take them back. And then the other aspect of proofreading is that it's important for quality. So if you're going to do something, do it to the best of your ability. That doesn't mean having to do everything perfect for those perfectionists in this class. There's a difference. It means putting forth your best effort that you are capable of at the time. And if you do that, that's all anyone can ask. Next, you need to remember to utilize peer review because you are not alone and you will need help. There will be so many times when you cannot do it all by yourself, no matter how badly you might want to. Life is hard for everyone, and sometimes life will hit you with things that you cannot begin to fathom or expect. You can have the best laid plans, and life will bring you circumstances that will derail you off your chosen path and bring you to your knees. But you know what? That's okay. Believe me, I know from personal experience. I wrote my draft of this speech on the back of a medication sheet while I was sitting in the hospital. You can look at it. I brought it with me. Medication sheet has still got some hospital pudding on it. And I never would have guessed that that was where I would be. But I also had my family, my church, my friends, my students, and an entire community to help me when I simply could not do things on my own. So similarly, I want each of you to remember that no matter how bad things get, you are surrounded by people who love you and will help you. And all you have to do is look around this room to find them. And that leads me to the last and possibly most important part of English, which is revision. So sometimes you're not going to get it right the first time because we're all human. And failure is how we learn and grow. So don't ever be afraid to change your mind and start over. As Ralph Waldo Emerson states, speak what you think today in hard words, and tomorrow speak what tomorrow thinks in hard words again, though it contradict everything you said today. Now that seems like it doesn't make sense at first glance, but what Emerson is saying is to live with conviction, but also with an open mind. So live your life with compassion and believe with conviction. But if somewhere along the road you find yourself in a place where you don't want to or should not be, take that time for a revision. Change your life or your beliefs for the better and live as passionately as before, unafraid of failure. And I'm sure that there's more that you have learned during your time here in school, but I hope that I have reminded you of a few important lessons that you can find useful as you prepare to take your next step into adulthood. And now there's really nothing left for me to tell you, but I will leave you with one last quote that nicely sums up pretty much everything I'd like you to remember. And of course, it's from my hero, Dr. Seuss. Congratulations, today is your day. You're off to great places, you're off and away. You have brains in your head, you have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself any direction you choose. Congratulations, class of 2019. Thank you.
bands. We were underground, loaded merch in that 12-passenger van. In a small club in Minnesota, and the snow outside of First Ave. I just wanted my name and star. Now look at where we at, still growing up. Still growing up. I'ma lay my bed and dream about what I've become. Couldn't wait to get on. Couldn't wait to be some. Now that I'm here, wishing I was still young. Those good old days.
I wish somebody would've told me that someday these would be the good old days. All the love you won't forget, and all these reckless nights you won't regret. That someday soon your whole life's gonna change. You'll miss the magic of the good old days.
Wish I didn't think I had the answers. Wish I didn't drink all of that glass first. Wish I made it to homecoming. Got up the courage to ask her. Wish I would've gotten out of my shell. Wish I put the bottle back on that shelf. Wish I wouldn't have worried about what other people thought and felt comfortable with myself. Rooftop open, and the stars above. When we frozen, sneaking out and falling in love. Me, you, and that phantom. We just look good. On the grass dreaming, figuring out who I was. Those good old days.
I wish somebody would've told me, babe, that someday these would be the good old days. All the love you won't forget, and all these reckless nights you won't regret. Someday soon your whole life's gonna change. You'll miss the magic of the good old days.
I can see it in your eyes that you are resting. Time has come for you to leave. It's so hard to let you go, but in this life I know you have to be who you were made to be. As you step out on the road, I'll say a prayer, so that in my heart you always will be there. This is not goodbye.
At this time, I'd like to introduce and present the class of 2019. Shelby H. Barber. Sierra Dawn Burke.